So guys, we have calculated the value of this displacement at the node points, right? This theta b, theta c and delta, okay? Now we'll calculate the value of these n moments, and the equation available are these four. These are the force displacement equation. With the help of the force displacement equation, we will calculate the value of these n moments which will be acting at the end of the member, okay? So let us first come to this MAB value, okay? So MAB I can write MAB equals to minus of 96 plus 4 by 5 EI into theta. Theta B is nothing but 117.94 over EI, right? And this is 6 by 25 EI. And what is the value of delta? Delta is 1028.92 over EI, right? So this EI will cancel each other. Now we need to calculate the value of this expression. So if we calculate the value of this thing, it will be 4 into 117.94 divided by 5 plus minus 6 into 1028.92 divided by 25. So the value of the MAB comes out to be minus of 248.58 kilonewton meter. Okay, I'll write this value over here. MAB equals to minus of 248.58 kilonewton meter. Okay, now let us calculate the value of MDA. So to calculate the value of MDA, which is given by this force displacement equation, is 8 by 5 EI. What is the value of theta B? 117.94 over EI minus 6 over 25 EI. Delta value is 1028.92 over EI, right? So if again we need to calculate the value of this expression, this is nothing but 8 into 117.94 divided by 5 minus 6 into 1028.92 divided by 25, and this is plus 144. Okay, so the value of MBA is 85.76, right? And this value is basically positive. Okay, so now let us calculate the value of what will be the value of MBC. Okay, we know the equation of the equilibrium, MBA plus MBC is equals to 0. Okay, so MBC will be equals to minus of MBA, which is equals to minus of 85.7. Okay, so MBC will be minus of 85.7. So you already know that what is the significance of this minus sign and this positive sign, okay? So now let us calculate the value of MCB, okay? So for MCB I can write MCB equals to 250 plus 8 over 5 EI, and theta value of theta C is 30.58 over EI plus 4 by 5 EI, and theta B is 117.94 over EI. Okay, so this is the expression for MCB, right? We need to put the values of displacement in this expression. Okay, so the value comes out to be MCB equals to 295.424. Okay, this is in kilonewton meter, right? So the value of MCB is equals to 295.424 kilonewton meter, or better to write 42. Okay, similarly For the equilibrium of joint C, we have this equation MCB plus MCD equals to 0, right? So MCD will be equals to minus of MCB. Okay, so MCD will be equal to minus of 295.42. Okay, so now we need to calculate the value of member and moment at this joint, at this node point D. Right, so for the D, MDC equals to, we need to use this equation. This is 36 plus 2 by 5 into, what is the value of theta C? Theta C is nothing but minus 30.58 over EI. Okay, and again this minus 3 into, this delta value is 1028.92 divided by 5. Okay, I think we need to calculate this expression again. This is MDC. Okay, this is the main expression. So this value is nothing but 6 by 25. We need to use this expression. Okay, this is 2 by 5 EI theta C minus 6 EI delta. This is EI and this is EI delta over here. EI will cancel out each other. Again, we need to calculate the value of this expression. So the value is 2 into minus 30.58 divided by 5 and minus 6 into 1028.92 divided by 25 plus 36. This is 2 into minus 30.58 divided by 5 and minus 6 into 1028.92 divided by 25. This is plus 36. So the value of this MDC comes out to be minus of 223.1728, or it is 17 kilonewton meter, right? So the value of MDC is minus 223.1728. Okay, so we have calculated the value of the end moments which is acting on this acting at the end of the members. Okay, now with the help of these end moments and this end moments, we will calculate what will be the shear force diagram and what will be the bending moment diagram for this frame structure. Okay, because ultimate purpose is to find what is the maximum bending moment will this frame be subjected to. Okay, what is the maximum bending moment which is coming onto this frame structure, right? And maximum shear force which is coming on this frame structure, right? So now let us calculate that thing. So this is the most important part of this problem. Okay, so now I think we don't need this equation now. Okay, so theta B, these values is. Now let us come to this important part, which is to draw the bending moment diagram, to draw this free body diagram for this structure. Okay, so let us come to this part. This is nothing but this is A and this is B. Okay, so at a distance of 6 meters from A, one load is 100 kilonewton which is acting on this B, right? One moment which is anti-clockwise 248.58 kilonewton meter. Okay, at this end, the end member and moment MBA is clockwise and the value is minus 85.76, right? So this is the member, these are the forces which is acting on the members, okay? Okay. There will be some resistance from this support in horizontal direction will be there. And from at this end. Okay. We need to keep the equilibrium of this structure basically. Okay. So due to this 100 kilonewton load, this is 4, this is 6. The reaction generated at this A end will be 40 kilonewton. We have already calculated that thing. And its direction will be look like this. Right? There should be no doubt in this, right? So at this B end, again, the force will be in this direction and the value will be 60 kilonewton. Right? Simple, use the equation of statics due to this 100 kilonewton load. Now, this vertical load is balanced basically. Now we need to balance this unbalanced. Now we need to take care of this unbalanced moment. Okay. Unbalanced moment will be, this is anti-clockwise moment and this is clockwise moment. So net unbalanced moment is basically anti-clockwise. Okay. Now to what you can say that to balance that anti-clockwise moment, we need to have some couple over here. Okay. And that couple will act like this. Okay, so this is the thing. This is the one moment acting at this point, and this is 248.58, right? So to balance this unbalanced moment, there will be a couple acting like this in clockwise direction. So we need to find this value of this couple basically. So its value will be 248.58, right? Minus of 85.76 divided over my 10. And this is the value, this will be the value of this couple. Let us denote as V couple, something like that. Okay, direction we have already identified. I'm just calculating here magnitude. Direction we have already identified over here. Okay, how is the direction will act over here? The direction of this V couple. So if we calculate this value, the value comes out to be 16.28 and 16.28 over here. Okay. So if someone asks what is the net force, the net force in horizontal direction will act at B. So it will be nothing but 60 minus 16.28. So it will be 43.72 over here. And at this end, it will be the both forces are in same direction. So we need to sum these forces. Okay. So 16.28 plus 40, which will give the value 56.28, right, in this direction. So this is the basically you can say that this is the free body diagram for this AB portion, right? So if we show it clearly, this force will be having net force acting at 43.72, I guess. This is a net force 43.72, and here the net force is 56.28. 56.28. Okay. So this is the forces acting in horizontal direction at A and B. Now, this is the support where 80 kilonewton load is acting, right? And again, we just made a cut at this point, okay? And again, at this point, if you see at this point, there is a UDL of intensity 30 kilonewton meter, okay? And end moments which is occurring at these, this is MBC, this is minus of 85.76, okay? And here this end moment MCB is 295.42. Okay, now I'm considering this portion, this BC portion. Okay, so it will look like this. This is the UDL basically. Now to balance this UDL, we need to have some load. Okay, so some vertical reaction. It will act in this direction. So this intensity is nothing but 30 kilonewton meter per meter. So total magnitude will be 30 into 10, which is 300 divided by 2. So 150 kilonewton load will act here, and 150 kilonewton resistance will be provided from here. Okay, this is basically resistance. Now how this resistance are coming, it will come from this side. Okay. Now unbalanced, the moment at this point is 85.76. At this end, the moment is 295.42. Right? So you can see that there is an unbalanced clockwise moment acting on this portion, this member. Okay. So to balance this anti-clockwise moment, we need to have the anti-clockwise couple. So the couple forces will look like this. It will produce anti-clockwise moment. Okay. And the value will be 295 minus 85.76, right, divided by 10. So the value is, here one force 20.924 will act, and at this point the force will be in downward direction. Okay. So net vertical force is 170.924 at this portion, and this is equals to 150 minus 20.924, and this value is 129.076. 129.076. Okay. Now at this point there is a vertical force of 170.924. Okay, and at this point there will be again a vertical force of what you can say 129.076. So this thing is done. So again at this portion there will be a joint. Okay, and this is okay. So at this 2 meter distance there is a force of 50 kilonewton acting, and member and moments MCD is minus 295. So this is minus of 295.42, and MDC is minus again anti-clockwise 223.1728 or 17. Okay. So now let us try to get the forces generated on this CD portion. Okay. So it is looking like this. Here the 50 kilonewton load. This distance is 2 meter. This is 3 meter. Okay. So at this point we'll be having some to balance this vertical force. This is the force system which is there to balance this 50 kilonewton load. Okay. So what will be the value of this forces? It will be 50 into 3 divided by 5. So this is 30 kilonewton load, 30 kilonewton resistance, and this is 20 kilonewton, right? And what about this unbalanced moment? This is minus 295.42, and again this is minus 223.17. Okay. So this is 223.17 plus 295.42. This is 51 divided by 5. So this value is, this moment is basically anti-clockwise. To balance this, we need to have some clockwise movement. So force will act like this. And the value of the force will be 103.718 over here, and 103.718 acting here, right? So net force will be is 103.718 minus of 30. This value is 73.718. Okay, and at this point the value will be 103.718 plus 20. This is 123.718. Okay. So guys, this is the basically, you can say that this we have shown how the forces are acting on this member, right? Now let us draw the shear force diagram and bending moment diagram for this frame structure. Okay, we know the forces acting, how the forces are acting on this beam. So let us draw that thing. Okay. So this is our frame look like. Okay, this is 100 kilonewton load, and there is a UDL. Now here is 80 kilonewton load, and here is 50 kilonewton load, and this is 3, this is 2. Okay, so first we need to draw what will be the shear force for this beam, shear force diagram, right? And we'll use the concept of, what you can say, we'll use the concept of we'll use the concept from this free body diagram, and we already know what direction we have to assume. Okay, so here what I'm doing over here, in the easiest way to understand, I'm looking from this side, right? I'm looking from this side to this figure. Okay, and I'm assuming that this is my positive axis. In this, positive is in this direction. Okay, so now let us remove that thing. We need to have some bigger diagram because we need some big space. So I can write here theta B is equals to 117.94 EI, theta C is 30.58 over EI, delta is 1028.92 over EI, right? So now okay, let us first consider this member. For this member, we need to draw this shear force diagram. Okay, so at A, you can see that the maximum forces, the reaction which is coming on A is 56.28. Okay, so we need to, the reaction force is acting here, right? Acting in this direction. And if I am standing here, let us suppose this is our positive axis, right? So if I am standing over here and I consider this element look like this, so this is our positive shear force direction. If we take one element over here, this is our positive shear force direction. which we generally assume when we draw the shear force diagram for this horizontal beam. Okay, so here this is basically a column. Okay, so what we'll do, we'll start from here. Okay, and this value is 56.28. It will be constant up to here. Okay, and at this point there is a 100 kilonewton load, so it will come down, and the value will be 56.28 minus of 56.28 minus of 100. So the value is 43.72. Okay, so it will again go there because there is no load. So at B, the value is 43.72. So it will come out here. It will join this point B. So this is negative, this is positive. Why this is? So here, if you look from this side, so this is the positive shear force diagram and this is negative shear force diagram. Okay. So one thing is completed. So we have drawn the shear force diagram for this member AB, right? Now, let us draw the shear force diagram for this member, what you can say that BC. Okay. For this member BC, we need to draw the shear force diagram, right? So if we come and suppose this is member C, okay, and there is a UDL acting on this B, right? So now you can see that at this B, the net vertical force is for this member is 129.076. Okay, 129.076. This member is shearing in this direction. This member will shear in this direction. So at this point, or this is a little bit confusing over here. At this point, the shear force will start from this side, right? And this, because this is positive direction. So this value is 129.076. Okay. So this value is 129.076 and this UDL is 30 times. Intensity of the UDL is 13 kilonewton per meter. Okay. So the value will be 0. 129.06 divided by 30. It will be the shear force diagram. The ordinate, this value will be 0 at this distance, which is 4.302. Okay, this distance is 4.02. At this point, the shear force, the value of the shear force is basically 0. Okay. And at this point, at this end, the value will be 295 or 295, 170.92. Okay, 170.92 will be the value. 129.076 minus 30 into 10. Okay, so this is the one, this value is nothing but 170.92. Okay, so this is negative, this is positive. Okay, and if you start the shear force diagram from this side, you can show that this upward shear force will be negative will be shown negative in shear force diagram, right? So this is the shear force diagram for this member BC. Now let us come to this member CD, right? So for CD, what you can say that we again will stand over here, okay, and look into this figure, look into this frame, right? From here you can see that this load 170, this value of this load, the value of this force is 73.78, and it is acting in this direction. So our shear force will be considered positive when it is when it act like this, right? So this value is in this direction, so it will start, the shear force diagram will start from here. Okay, and this value is nothing but 73.18, right? And at this end, at this point, I am having the value of 50 kilonewton. Okay, so the shear force diagram, this is the value 73.18, 73.18, it will go there, and 73.78 minus of this value is, this is 50, 30. Okay, this is 73.78, right? And 73.18, 718 minus of 50. The value gives, this value will go up to here, and again it will be, this is okay, guys. So at this point, this is basically anti-clockwise couple. To balance this anti-clockwise couple, we need to have force in this direction. Okay, so I think we made a mistake over here. So this is, this load is basically, this distance is 2, this is 3. So here 130 kilonewton load, and here 120 kilonewton load will be there, right? So if we calculate 295.42 plus 223.17 divided by 5, this is 103.718. Okay, 718. This is the value of 10. So guys, we made a mistake over here. I think the direction of this 50 kilonewton load, this resistance will be 20 kilonewton load will be act here, and 30 kilonewton load will act here, right? And this net force which we have already calculated is 73.18, which will be acting in this direction. Okay, this is 73.18. Okay, we made a mistake. We showed this direction in this opposite direction. Okay, so this is 73.18 net force, which will be acting at this point, right? And which is basically the sum of the force, the resistance generated due to this 50 kilonewton load and this end balance anti-clockwise load, right? So if we look from here, right, if we look from here, this 73 point load will act in this direction. Okay, this is our positive axis, right? So it will go here. Okay, and at this point there will be the 50 kilonewton no load will act, and this value is basically 123.718. Okay, and you can see that, don't confuse with the shear force diagram. Okay, for this, remember the shearing is taking place like this. Okay, and this, there will be positive shear in this entire section. right, in its entire member. So this is the basically the shear force diagram for this, what you can say for this frame. Okay, so we made a little mistake over here by we didn't we showed this previously. We showed this direction in this opposite direction. Okay, so this is the correct shear force diagram for this frame structure. Now let us draw the most important part, the bending moment diagram, right? And I hope that you are clear with those things, like how we have taken where the positive and negative shears is occurring. Okay, we have assumed just our general assumptions, okay, which we assume in case of beams. Okay, so this is the positive and this is negative, right? Use the same concept over here, don't confuse. Okay, so now we'll draw the bending moment diagram for this frame structure. Bending moment diagram will draw separately again. Okay. Now you can see that this is A, this is B, this is C, and this is D, right? At AB, what is the value of bending moment? This is minus 248.58, which is acting anti-clockwise, right? So this is acting anti-clockwise. And the value is 248.58, right? Okay. We'll just use the concept of this equation, which is dm by dx equals to sds shear force. Okay, so you can see that this moment, what is this moment doing actually? So this moment is basically producing compression on this face. Okay, so as per the assumption, the ordinate will be from compression side. Okay, so this is the basic line. The ordinate of the bending moment will be shown towards compression side. Okay, so compression, so this moment will start from here, right? And you can assume in case of the beams, what direction we assume positive. This direction we assume positive, and this direction we assume negative. Hogging, sagging is basically decide about positive, negative in case of beams. But in case of columns, we don't know where is hogging, where is hogging. We cannot say it is hogging or it is sagging, right? We will only say hogging, sagging in case of beam. So column will not hag or will not hog or will not be will not swag or will not sag. Okay, it will just only buckle. So here what direction we have assumed over here is that we are assuming that this we are showing that the bending moment diagram is drawn on the compression side. What I meant by that is that bending moment diagram ordinate will be drawn from the compression side, right? So in this case also, this is, let us suppose this is our positive axis, okay, and we are looking from here. Okay, we will use this same assumption over here, just rotate it vertically. Just rotate this vertically. Okay, so now compression diagram will start from here. Okay, at this point the shear force will be the bending moment will be maximum. When shear force is 0, at this point the bending moment will be maximum, right? So now again use a concept. We need to calculate the value of the bending moment at this distance 6 meters. Okay, so the dm by dx is equals to shear force, right? So dm is equals to shear force into dx. So if I integrate, it will be mf minus of m initial equals to area under shear force diagram. Okay, this is the case. So mf we need to calculate, and mi is basically negative, so 248.58. and what is the area of the shear force diagram? This is the area of shear force diagram, and the value will be 56.28 into 6. and this is positive basically. So 337.68 minus of 248.58. So the value will be positive. The value is basically positive. It is 89.1. So at this point, the value of bending moment diagram will be positive. Okay, so it will go like this. At some point, the bending moment will be 0. Okay, so this is positive, this is negative, right? Okay, now at this end, at the end, we know that the bending moment value is basically clockwise. Okay, so at this end, the value is looking like this. So compression is acting, so this moment will produce compression in this side. Okay, this side. So the bending moment will start from here. Okay, and this value is nothing but 85.76. Okay, so this is the bending moment diagram for this member AB. I hope the point is very clear. Okay, you just rotate it vertically and you will get the direction of the bending moment diagram. Okay, now let us come to this C point. A C point for this member BC, you can see that this is the initial moment, end moment, which is acting anti-clockwise. Okay, so this will produce compression at the bottom fiber. So our bending moment diagram will start from somewhere here. Okay, and you can see that the bending moment diagram will be maximum where shear force will be maximum. So here my shear force bending moment is maximum, is coming at a distance of 402, because shear force at this point is changing, the shear force diagram is changing direction, so bending moment will be maximum over there. Okay, so what I can write, again I use this equation. Okay, so dm, this is mf minus of m initial. M initial is minus of 85.76, and area will be area of this triangle basically. This is on positive side, so I can write half into 129.076 into 4.302. Okay, so if I calculate this value, this value comes out to be 191.194. Okay, let us calculate it again. 129.076 into 4.302, 302 into 0.5 minus 85.70. So this value comes out to be, at this point, the value is 191.42, right? This is the maximum value which is coming. This is the maximum value which is coming at this point. Okay. Now, what is the value of C? At C, you can see that this value is this moment is producing compression at this bottom fiber. Okay. So bending moment diagram will start again from here, and the value will be 295.42. So it will become like, it will go like this. So this is positive, this is negative, right? So this is the bending moment diagram for what you can say that, no, this is not the bending moment diagram, this will be a curve because there is a UDL acting, so this will be a curve. Okay, so this is, sorry guys, this will be a curve. Okay, so at this point the value will be maximum. So this is the basically curve. Now let us come to this CD portion. Okay, at CD, if you look at CD, the MCD is anti-clockwise. Okay, it is anti-clockwise. So it is producing compression at this fiber. So bending moment will start from this point. So and the value is 295.42. Okay, so this value is nothing but 295.42. Okay, and at D again the value is anti-clockwise. So this will produce moment compression at this extreme fiber, this side. Okay, so it will start from here. So again at some point the value will be 0. Okay, this value where it will be 0 you can easily find. Okay, I'm not showing that thing. So this is the bending moment diagram for this thing. This value is again 290. MDC value is minus of 223.1728, right? So this is the bending moment diagram for this frame structure. Okay, and you can see that this bending moment diagram will always be drawn from the compression side. The ordinate is always defined from the compression side. Here in this CD you can see that this is the CD member. Okay, this moment is producing compression at this side, and this moment is producing compression at this side. Okay, so you can see that the ordinate is defined from the compression side. That's why we say that bending moment is drawn on the compression side, right? So guys, this is done. Now we'll draw the deflection curve diagram for this figure. Okay. I think after solving this problem, you don't have any confusion remaining that how to draw this bending moment diagram, what are the directions we assume in case of frames. Okay. So now let us draw this. First, you can say that deflection curve of this frame structure. Okay. Now at A, let us first come to this point. This is A. This is B, this is C, and this is D, right? At A you can see that what is the direction of this, but you can say that theta is basically 0, okay? And you are seeing that from the bending moment diagram, the compression, if let us suppose if this is the cross-section area of this AB, the compression will be from this side, okay? Compression will be this side. So bending moment diagram will start from here. Okay, sorry, deflection curve will start like this, and you can see that at this point, this is nothing but this is point of contraflexure. Okay, so this is compression at this fiber. So at this point, somewhere here, our point of inflection will lie. Point of inflection in deflection curve. Okay, here. At this point, compression top, compression at this side. At this side, there is compression. Okay. Now, again at this point, it will again change its curvature basically. Okay. This curvature change might be unnoticeable to you. Okay. At this point, this is again point of inflection, which we can get from here. Okay, this is the point of contraflexure in the bending moment diagram, and this is the point of inflection in the beam. Okay, now let us come to this B point. At B, there will be some displacement delta. So this is nothing but this is delta. Okay, this delta we have already calculated. And what are the direction of this? Direction of the rotation, basically. If we draw the tangent over here, you can see that this is rotating anti-clockwise, this is rotating clockwise. So you can see that theta B is clockwise. Okay. So at this point B, my beam will deflect like this. Okay. And again, at C, you can see that at C, this point, through the bending moment diagram, this point will be in compression over here. Somewhere like this, it will bend. Then again, there will be compression. And at C, because we need to show some deflection delta also, okay? Delta, let us suppose delta is over here. So this part will wholly, this part is in compression. Compression means this fiber, this is compression, okay? Because bending moment diagram will be drawing from the compression side. So this side will be in compression, right? So at some point it will again change its direction, right? So this is nothing but point of inflection again, because you can see that again there is from sagging to hogging, there is a change of from sagging to hogging. Okay, so after this point, at this point it will sag, and after that it will be, there will be hogging in the beam. Hogging means this top fiber will be in tension, right? And if you come at C point, if you come at C point, you can see that the rotation is anti-clockwise. So this rotation is basically anti-clockwise. This is minus 30.58 over VEI. Okay. And somewhere here it will bend like this, right? Here also you can see that this theta is again anti-clockwise, which is, then the value is already 30.58 over EI. Okay. And this point, this is the point of inflection, basically. Point of inflection. Okay. So this fiber will be in again compression. You can see that this fiber will be again compression, because the bending moment diagram we have drawn from the compression side. So this portion will be in compression. Okay. So this portion will be in compression from this side. This side is in compression, okay, and this side is in tension. So it will bend like this, okay, and the angle between the member is basically at this point, the member angle, this is 90 degrees, so this 90 degree will always be maintained. This total is 90 degrees, okay, the angle between the tangents. So here the tangent is looking like this, and here the tangent is looking like this, will be like this. So this is again equals to 90 degrees. Okay, so this is the basic bending moment diagram for the deflection diagram for this frame structure. Okay, I hope I made my point clear over here. So if you still have any doubt regarding this, what are the directions we assume, how we draw this deflection curve, you can write in the comment section. Okay guys, so thank you very much for your patience. So guys, we'll meet in the next lecture.